just spent a romantic weekend with my long-distance boyfriend at a downtown hotel for our 3-year anniversary. We checked out. I went back to my apartment, took a hot shower, put on pajamas, and got ready to zone out with some music. That's when I realized one of my AirPods was missing. I tore up the couch cushions, checked my purse, checked under the bed. Nothing. Fine. I opened Find My on my phone. The little dot popped up clear as day. Crystal Hotel, room 704. Excuse me? I grabbed my phone and called the front desk. Hi, this is Emily Walker. I stayed in 704 earlier. I think I left one of my AirPods there. Could you check the room for me? The woman on the line sounded off. Ma'am, 704 hasn't checked out yet. If you want, you could just come up yourself. My brain went dead silent, then exploded all at once. Jason told me he'd rushed to the airport. Room still occupied. Every cell in my body screamed the same sentence. That asshole sent me home so he could fuck someone else. I didn't even think. I dialed 911. Hi, I want to report suspicious activity. There's a man in room 704 at the Crystal Hotel downtown. I'm pretty sure there's prostitution going on in that room right now. I was absolutely willing to make it complicated. Jason and I have been doing long distance for 3 years. He works in another city for some big corporate firm. Every few weeks he flies in for the weekend. Like most long distance couples, our dates are hotel rooms, Uber Eats, and pretending 48 hours is enough to act like a real couple again. But this time was different. He barely touched me. We had sex once, quick and half-assed, then he spent the rest of the time scrolling on his phone. I thought, okay, maybe the flight drained him. I actually felt bad for him. I even stroked his ego, literally. Both literally and figuratively. By the afternoon, he suddenly got a call. Babe, the project at work's blowing up, he said, pacing around the room. They need me back ASAP. I gotta fly out tonight. He booked a ticket right there on his phone, then wrapped an arm around me and put on his best guilty face. I'm really sorry, Em. This project decides my bonus and whether I get promoted to run the new branch here in town. It's for our future, you know? I'll come back around Thanksgiving and make it up to you, okay? He looked so stressed and frustrated I actually felt guilty for being disappointed. If he really got that branch manager job here, the long-distance hell would finally be over. No more airport goodbyes. No more crying in Ubers home alone. I didn't realize until tonight that cheating men should honestly win Oscars. I sighed and hugged him. It's okay. Work's important. I'll drive you to the airport. He immediately waved his hands like I'd suggested a crime. No, don't. If you drive me there, I'll just worry about you driving back alone. It's late. The traffic's crazy. Let's just go our separate ways from here. It's easier. I wanted to cling to him a little longer, but he looked so urgent I swallowed it. We checked out together. I grabbed a rideshare back to my apartment. I crashed on my bed and knocked out. When I woke up, it was after 10 p.m. I grabbed my phone, threw on some music. Only one AirPod connected. I checked my bag, the bathroom, under the sheets. Nothing. So I opened Find My. There it was, glowing like a middle finger from God. Crystal Hotel, room 704. It was late, and I didn't feel like going back out, so I called the front desk. Hi, this is Emily Walker. I checked out of 704 today. I realized I left an AirPod in the room. Can you send someone up and have a courier drop it off for me? The girl at the desk hesitated. Ma'am, didn't you just come back up here? I actually just printed you a replacement key for 704. My head buzzed like someone hit a gong inside my skull. First reaction, he's cheating. No wonder he was so useless in bed this time. He was saving his stamina for the real show. I forced myself to calm down. Maybe the front desk was confused? I FaceTimed Jason. Rejected in under a second. I called. Straight reject again. Same speed as last night. When he finished in about the time it takes Netflix to load a thumbnail. Then I got a text. Babe, the plane's about to take off. I'll call you when I land. Plane, my ass. You went to the airport at noon and 10 hours later you're just now about to take off. More like you're about to take off on some girl in my bed, in my hotel, next to my damn AirPod. At that point I was almost certain Jason Miller was cheating. That bastard. I was going to tear him and his side chick apart. I threw on clothes, booked a ride, and headed straight for the Crystal Hotel. On the way there, my brain spun in circles. I was pretty sure this was cheating. Either way it was disgusting. I even took another shower before leaving the house. Yeah, I know. She's the one coming after me, but just the idea of sharing a bed with some side chick in the rotation made my skin crawl. I honestly didn't know whether to call it sharing a room or sharing a piece of shit. From what the front desk said, she'd just handed the other woman a new key card. In a decent hotel, if you lose your key, you can't just say, oh, I'm in 704, let me in. You need the room number and the name on the reservation. She knew Jason's name. She knew the room. That's not some random hooker off an escort site. Jason might be an asshole, but he's not stupid enough to give his real name and corporate job to a street-level sex worker. So yeah, this wasn't just some quick paid fuck. This was cheating. I replayed the whole weekend. He'd flown in, done the bare minimum with me, then suddenly bailed halfway through our weekend. The urgent work call, the project, the bonus, the branch manager role, what a script. Clearly, the main event wasn't me. Last night was his warm-up. The real headliner was scheduled for tonight. What I couldn't figure out was who the hell the side chick was. We'd been out of college for 3 years. Jason moved away for work. How did he suddenly have some woman here in my city? If he was going to cheat, wouldn't it make more sense to screw someone in his city? Whatever. Once I got to that hotel, everything would come out. Halfway there, it hit me. Going in alone might not cut it. I'd need pictures, video, and if things got physical, I needed backup. So I called my best friend Sophie. She picked up sounding half asleep and half evil. Why the hell are you calling me in the middle of the night? Are you on fire? It was only 11 p.m. There's no universe where Sophie's asleep by then. Unless, my stomach dropped. Jason only knew two women in this city, me and Sophie. I froze, a cold sweat breaking out on my forehead. Those cheating with the best friend stories online? No way that was going to be me, right? The more I thought about it, the sicker I felt. What if I lost my boyfriend and my best friend in one night? But the call was already connected. No backing out now. Get your ass up, I snapped. We're going to the Crystal Hotel to catch Jason cheating. Instantly, her sleepiness vanished. I could pretty much hear her jumping out of bed. What? Jason's cheating? Are you already there? Don't let him leave. I'm coming. Wow. Not oh my god. Are you okay? Not I'm so sorry. That must hurt. Just pure, unfiltered excitement. Apparently, gossip friendship. But at least I could cross one nightmare off the list. If Sophie was that excited, she clearly wasn't the side chick. Don't go barging in yet, she said, voice climbing. I'm almost there. I was about to hang up when she added, already hyped out of her mind. Wait, should I bring my drone and the gimbal? We could get insane footage. This bitch. When we went on actual vacations, she was too lazy to bring her camera gear. Now that we're catching my boyfriend cheating, suddenly she's Discovery Channel. I just found out I got cheated on, and you're out here planning a full production shoot. Just get over here. She coughed, trying to sound serious. Right. Sorry, I forgot this is tragic for you. Don't worry, I'll help you wreck him. My ride pulled up to the hotel. I hung up, marched straight to the front desk. Hi, I'm a guest in 704. I need a replacement key, please. The receptionist, her name tag said Amy, gave me a cautious look. I'm sorry, Ms. Walker, but I don't see your name on the reservation. I can't issue a new key without the registered guest's permission. Of course. I bet she'd already put two and two together when I called earlier. There was no way she was just going to hand me that key. The reservation is under Jason Miller. He's my boyfriend. I literally stayed here last night. I understand, Amy said, sympathetic but firm. But it's hotel policy. We can call Mr. Miller and ask if he wants us to issue another key. If he agrees, I can print one for you. Yeah, no. Let him know I'm here so he can shove the side chick into the closet and wipe the sheets down with Febreze. Don't, I said quickly. I'll text him to come get me. I walked over to one of those stiff hotel lobby couches and sat down, trying to think. The elevators all needed key cards. No key, no fifth floor. So while those two were up there screwing each other's brains out, I was sitting downstairs in the air conditioning, swallowing my rage. I held it in for a few minutes, then it cracked. My throat tightened, and the tears just burst out, silent at first, then ugly. I was furious, humiliated, heartbroken, all at once. Jason was my first everything. We started dating in college. After graduation, he moved out of state to build his career, and I stayed here teaching middle school. I thought long distance was just doomed. Eventually one of us would give up, right? But then he told me his company was planning to open a branch in my city. If he worked his ass off for a few years, they'd move him back here as the branch manager. The branch actually opened. His boss literally told him, nail this new project, and you get the job. I was so stupidly hopeful. Counting down to the end of long distance, imagining him moving back, apartment hunting together, putting our names on the same lease. And just when I was standing at the edge of that future, he pulled this. I'd been waiting for him like some loyal porch light, always on, hoping he'd come home. Every holiday, every long weekend, I built my life around when he might visit. And now, right when he's almost back for good, some side chick just swoops in to collect my prize like it's curbside pickup. The longer I thought about it, the more it burned. I wasn't just hurt. I was pissed. I was going to shred these two like they were the last episode of a bad reality show. Right then, Sophie came flying through the sliding doors, hauling a guy behind her and a ton of gear. This is my cousin Leo, she said, a little too cheerfully. He was crashing at my place. When he heard about your situation, he didn't even think about sleeping. He insisted on coming. He's a photographer, totally pro. Yeah, help my ass. They were here to feast on drama. Leo grinned at me. You're Sophie's best friend, so you're basically my sister. Tell me what you need. I got you. He popped open a case and started pulling things out. A drone, a gimbal, lenses, random gadgets I didn't even recognize. I'd never seen such heavily armed spectators. Can we maybe not start a full-scale film set in the lobby? I hissed. We can't even get upstairs yet. I explained the hotel's policy. Without Jason's permission, we couldn't get a key. No elevator to the 5th floor. Our only hope was to tail someone heading up there. I'd been watching the lobby the whole time. It was almost midnight. Not many people were coming or going. On top of that, Amy at the front desk kept glancing our way, whispering to the security guards. She wasn't about to let me casually sneak up to 704. And honestly, I got it. First a woman checks in with a guy. Next day he goes to the airport. And later another woman shows up, gets a new key to the same room. Now a third woman rolls in, visibly pissed, demanding a key too. What else could this be besides a cheating scandal waiting to explode? Jason might have stamina, but not that much. If shit went down, the hotel didn't want to be responsible. So their strategy was obvious. Keep me stuck in the lobby. Leo snapped his fingers. Most buildings have a fire stairwell. We can just take the stairs up. I told Sophie to stay in the lobby and run interference if needed. Leo and I slipped out of sight and hunted down the emergency stairwell. Luckily, 704 was only on the 5th floor. We sprinted up, hearts pounding. I was ready to kick the door in and catch them mid-thrust when Leo grabbed my arm. These doors are solid as hell, he whispered. You're not kicking that open. Let's think for a second. I pressed my ear against the door anyway, desperate to hear something, anything. All I got was muffled noise. No clear talking, just sounds, which honestly made it worse. I stood there, glued to the door, boiling. That's when my phone dinged. AirPods connected.